Joblessness at an all-time high. Homelessness at an all-time high. Wall Street profits at an all-time high. Is this what capitalism is all about? They say history repeats itself. That's what we're going to find out today. Welcome to another edition of Ustv, TV for Us. I'm your host, Jeff Merle. Ustv, TV for Us here at Occupy Wall Street. We're here with Chris, and I'm sorry, Chris, where are you from?
Newark, New Jersey.
Newark, New Jersey. Now, Chris, a lot of people are confused about exactly what's going on out here, and I guess we wanted to ask you, from your perspective, what would you say?
Well, we're like our main mission, right?
Whatever you think, Chris.
Well, our main mission is to spread the word that corporations run the state. It's definition of it's corrupt corporations. You got to make sure we're not anti-corporation. We're anti-corporate greed, right? So like Goldman Sachs is un-American by anybody's.
Why would you say that, Chris? Why would you say that?
Because they hurt many people, and they say, oh, they didn't know about it. They knew those mortgages were going to be fail. I read it. I was in high school. I was a junior in high school in 2000. I just printed one out because I was like curious what it was about, and I was like, man, that doesn't make sense. So I go to my economics teacher,
right,
and I'm saying, does this make sense? I have it all highlighted, and then you know what he tells me? He's like, America is going to be in trouble in 10 years. And look, yeah, and I was like,
now, what is it like waking up here every morning away from your home? That sacrifice. What's that like?
Well, I go home because I live close by, so I can sleep here. But I heard it's horrible because some of these people are either out of college and can't find a job, right? And then they have to be forced to back in with massive debt to live with their parents. So they're out here practically homeless anyway. And then there's people like got foreclosed on by people like Goldman Sachs that are here homeless because they don't got a home because they lost it. There's a guy here that works the drums. He used to work for NASA, but because Obama did one of the stupidest things on the planet and got rid of NASA. So, I mean, like, so he lost his job. So he's got laid off and then lost his house.
That's horrible. We're really, really sad to hear that. That's absolutely horrible. Now, so from what you're saying is you're not protesting capitalism, or are you?
No, not at all. I mean, like, I'm not. I mean, I could speak for myself, but
right.
Like, for the most part, I mean, there's people here that think communism works, but I'm smart enough to know, like, since like the 6th grade, communism doesn't work on the big scale, right? It just it gets unstable at the bigger it gets. But we're not against capitalism. We're just against the corruption of the system.
Now, can I ask you a question, Chris? Is your family, your immediate family, are they supporting your protest?
Yeah, sure. My mom just hopes I can get a job out of this. Yeah. Hi, Mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you want to achieve by being here for however long it takes? What do you want to see change, Chris?
I want to see it go back to this. Every American should have this.
And I'm sorry, what is that?
The Constitution and the following amendments and the Declaration of Independence, where it goes, we the people and not we the corporation. This does not give the corporations the same rights as a human being. This gives us human rights, not a piece of paper.
Wow. Again, thank you for your time, Chris.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. Ustv, Occupy Wall Street. Again, we're here at Occupy Wall Street, this time with a gentleman by the name of Jack from Coney Island. Jack, my first question to you is, what do you hope to achieve by making this statement?
Well, if you look at the other side of my sign,
yes, sir.
It says Occupied Wall Street is a secular expression.
Okay.
It's not a religious movement, you know.
Okay.
But I don't know how long you're here, but I get the goosebumps as I talk to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it's somewhat like it's a patriotic, spiritual type of thing.
Connection. Okay.
Like a synergy. And really, this is all about, everybody has not everybody, there's a variety of reasons why people are here.
Right.
Either because they're indigent, either because they're not indigent, either because they're frustrated, either because they're depressed, either they just can't take the shit anymore. So basically this is about, I think, from being here 35 days today.
35 days, that's amazing.
I don't sleep here. I slept here one day on the October the 2nd. But all I can say is this is about destiny. People are fighting for the destiny, not just for yours or mine, for your kids, and those are not born yet. This is about righteous people. They're just going against the wrongful people. In other words, it's the human righteous against the human wrongers.
Wow.
So we're tired. So we're not going to let the human wrongs start, putting their foot on our necks financially, economically.
Oh my God.
And then when we vote them in office, the politicians, they're human beings. Institutions are not human. It's humans who run institutions. So, it's not imaginary people. This is real people. And we're out here expressing ourselves, hoping the world hears this. And I think we made our point across. We're being heard. I know we're being shut out by...
Jack, I gotta ask you, do you feel like you're a part of history right now?
Well, I would say yeah, because I used to work at the World Trade Center.
Wow.
In World Trade Center 1.
Okay.
8407 at Suite 847. Ironically, I used to work for Chinese people.
Okay.
And so when that went down, of course that went down in historical and also in infamy proportions.
Wow.
But, I've carried that burden with me for 10 years. But I also, I'm self-employed.
Jack, is your family supporting you on this protest?
Oh yeah, they love what I do. I even collected some T-shirts for them. I did collect souvenirs. And remember, we're standing at Zuccotti Park, which is known as Liberty Park.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And 6. And so you have on one side Ground Zero, and on the other side you have the financial center of the world, Wall Street.
Yes, sir.
You're standing right at the epicenter of where this one percenter or anti-robber baron movement is happening, and you're standing right here on ground financial zero, I would call it.
Wall Street is the only street that starts in a cemetery and ends in a river. Did you know that, Jack?
Interesting enough, I want to know if our first capital, which is known as what's that hall again? Constitution Hall.
Right,
is
Constitution
built.
Hall.
Is it built? Out of curiosity, is that built also on?
I would really have to research that, Jack. I'm going to be honest with you. I'd have to research that. But everything that you said was pretty accurate, sir.
Yeah, and remember, and also, there's a good probability we're against nuclear war, because nuclear war will come. And yes, we are making a historic statement, because when it happens, God forbid, if any, at least we will be vindicated, this generation. This Occupy Wall Street generation will be known as the generation who attempted to stop nuclear warfare from happening. And we have the solutions for that.
Jack, I got to ask you a question. Are you protesting capitalism?
No, we like, sometimes we need a Democrat, to take over the government, or sometimes we need a Republican to take over the government. It's like a father taking over the house sometimes, and sometimes the mother takes over the house. Capitalism is good. There's a time for capitalism, and there's a time for some more socialism than usual. And this is the time for some more socialism than usual. I came out of the welfare office last week, and I've discovered that per person, the government is allocating something like about $6,200 per person a year. That's with the food stamps, with the cash benefits, but people on the safety net.
That's horrible.
No, but that's the whole point. But if they want to work for at least minimum wage, because $7.25, which is the federal minimum wage,
right.
If they could get a job, they're so eager to work.
Right.
They can't wait. They don't want to be on this welfare shit. They'd rather make $15,000 at minimum wage. And plus, at the end of the year, if they file their taxes, they get a nice check from Uncle Sam or Aunt Liberty, depends.
Right.
And so it pays to work, even at the minimum wage. My other sign had said, you know,
Let's see the other side, Jack. Let's see the other side.
My sign from yesterday, but this is what it's about. I mean, you know, the 1% are paper rich, and the 99% we're flesh rich. See, so you know, and money can't buy law. Money can't buy our destiny. It can, you know, it's not going to buy anything except keep us busy and let us chase the dollars one generation to the next. You know, being kept in check by, we need the Federal Reserve because they're the ones need to also check the, you know, inflation, you know, target the money supply, control the interest rates, you know what they do, fiscal policy, monetary policy.
Right.
And we don't, there's some people that don't want capitalism. There's some people that don't want.
That's why we wanted to talk to you, Jack, because we wanted you to tell us.
The Federal Reserve, we need the Federal Reserve because you got to remember, history is our jury, history is our judge, and history is my witness, or y'all. And the fact is, if we just go back, since, let's say 1972, under the under the Richard Nixon administration, he did a great thing in this country. He took us off the gold stand in 1972, and right after that, because he saw Americans were going to be junkies on petrol, and right after that, we had the great oil embargoes post Nixon, and then he had the Carter administration.
Right.
And then, so, yeah, but we had the, you know, we had the 6-Day War, whatever it was, with the Israelis. They shut down the Suez, you remember?
Right.
And there was interest, the mortgage rates were 30%.
Wow.
Back in the late 70s. If you got to remember that now to appreciate what we have here today. And listen, the reason why we're really here, and the reason why there's a global financial tsunami, is because Bill Clinton removed the Glass-Steagall Act of 1933. This is why we're here, folks.
Which, by the way, for our viewers, the Glass-Steagall Act was an act that separates the banks from private investments. That's what that law did. It's very interesting that you brought that up, Jack.
It was a lesson from 1929. It took us 4 years to investigate. There's a building here. People used to jump off the building.
Jack, I want to thank you for your time, sir. You have a great day. Again, Ustv, TV for us. Occupy Wall Street.
Handzon Multimedia. One time to get it right.